Sword Rider, Transformers reviews and toy related chat. Sword Rider, Sword Rider.
Hello, I'm Sword Rider, and today I'm going to talk to you about a figure I picked up a few weeks ago, which is the Power of the Prime's Voyager class, Grimlock. So first of all, I want to address the giant combiner-shaped elephant that's in the room, that is Volcanicus mode. Now, I'm a bit of a G1 fan, as you know, and I know there's a bit of uproar about whether Dinobots should combine or they shouldn't combine. Well, I know the third-party company, I forget which one, did it a while ago, and it upset a few people, but it was a bit more accepting because it was a third-party company that did it. I don't mind the idea of the Dinobots combining. I don't mind things moving with the times, and I get absolutely that we need to move with the times, and you know what, things have changed, and the Dinobots are a 5-piece, and generally 9 times out of 10, normally 5 robots combine into a combined mode, so I'm okay with that. And I'm not too upset with the Dino mode, the combined mode itself. I mean, it's not perfect. My build quality has some serious issues. Well, I say serious, but serious enough to stop it tabbing together. You can see how flush this side is compared to this side. That will not move up any further whatsoever. So, and then what you need to do is you have to tab the chest piece of Grimlock into a little peg there. But of course, because this side isn't flat, it won't peg in, which leaves this side completely open. So QC issues. Also, the paint, and I don't know if you can see it, the light isn't very good in here tonight, sorry about that. There's a line of like really bad missing paint across the front of his face, which is a little bit disappointing really. So I know a lot of people have complained about the gaps here, and how he looks kind of slender, and I think that is a fair criticism considering this is meant to be a combination of dinosaurs that were big creatures. You can get one of the spare combiner fists from one of the deluxes, and you can peg that on one of these tabs that are on the arms, like, if I can do it, like so, and that helps fill up that space a little bit. I don't know if it works or if it doesn't. I don't know if I've done that right or not, but I worry about the stability of this thing as well. With the arms on, a little bit of weight on there, things will pop off. I don't think it will hold together very well. I don't mind the design, but I don't think it works. I don't think it'll work practically as a combiner, simply because of the issues and the fact things don't tab together right. The design I'm kind of okay with, but what I'm not okay with is how the other modes have been compromised in order to create this. Now, I truly believe this would have been one of the best Grimlocks that we've got if it didn't have the combiner gimmick. If it was just a dinosaur that turned into a robot, I think we all would be gushing over this thing, and I think unfortunately the combiner mode has let the other 2 modes down. So here's Grimlock in his iconic T-Rex mode, the mode that, let's face it, all of us generally display a Grimlock in. Let's talk about some positives at first. I absolutely love that head sculpt. It oozes Grimlock. I love it actually up until about this point here. I really like what they've done. I like the G1S design of how the panels fold together. I think it's really good. I really like it. You've got head articulation as well, so you can bend forward and back, and you can close his jaws. These arms here are on a ball joint. The legs here can do a full 360 and can bend a little bit at the knee. You have got a tiny bit of tail articulation as well. So I really like this. I really like the gold plastic as well. The gold paint underneath the clear plastic, very G1-esque. So yeah, I really like that, and I think that part of it is great. I think the problems start. The start of the problems lower down. He's almost as wide as he is tall, and the reason for that is, I believe it's the combiner gimmick. I mean, you look at the size of the legs. Those legs only exist like that because of the combiner ports that are attached to them. If those legs weren't designed to combine, those would fit so much better. They wouldn't need to be as thick as this either. So actually, because of the shoulder supports in combiner mode. So actually, the legs have purely been compromised, absolutely, for combiner mode. The tail, yes, again, compromised because of the combiner ports here. But you know what? That's a little bit more forgiving for me. But saying that, if those didn't exist, you know as well as I do that tail would look a lot better than what it is at the moment. And he's very wide. He's almost as wide as he is tall. Massively wide hips. And I think that's a little off-putting, to be honest. It does proportionally, he's not quite right. And then the really unforgivable thing, which is the back of the figure. It's just the combine mode just chilling out there. That's where the combine mode head is. There's the torso groin plate. It's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. Which is a shame, really. I mean, as I say, from up here, it's a pretty good toy. It looks great. It's very G1-esque. But down below, you lose points because you're trying to cram too much into a toy. So robot mode is probably the best of all three, even though it still suffers because of the compromises made to have him a combiner. I really like the gold again here. Very similar transformation to G1, except without this sliding down, it actually splits and moves down. But the rest of the transformation is pretty similar. You've got heads on a swivel, arms, can't do a full 360 because of the backpack, but they can go above 90 degrees because there is a double hinge on there. Well, kind of a double hinge. You have got a swivel. You can go all the way out. You can go all the way forward. You can't go all the way back because of this plate here. And legs can do 90 degrees, and there's now movement in the feet. Head sculpt, very, very Grimlock-esque. Very, very good. Really like it. I don't mind the wide shoulders as such here, but what I notice about him, and I'm going to put him in a terrible pose here, is his feet seems to be a little bit longer. Need to be longer than what they are, which is a shame. I mean, it's okay, it works. He just looks like he's skipped leg day, really, which is a bit of a shame. As I say, I love the gold, I love the paint. I think this robot mode is the best, but some of the compromising again, you've got the combiner kibble at the back, and it's just a shame, really. Now, another thing that's a shame is that you don't get his iconic sword, or you don't get his double-barreled gun. I think one or the other would have been absolutely fine, but to get neither, again, is disappointing. All that you do get is his Dinobot Enigma of combination, which is a bit lazy. It's a hollow piece of plastic. To me, this should have been like a Titan Master or a Prime Master. Let's face it, we got one of those with Voyagers last time, and yes, I know we didn't get the combiner ports, but we still got weapons with them. So I feel, you know what, that's a little bit annoying. We could have made these into Prime Masters. And you also get 2 lots of these combiner feet, which are better than the Combiner Wars ones, but apparently these are his weapons. You stick the feet on his arms, like so, and yeah, just got feet on his arms, really. I mean, it doesn't really work for me, but I mean, it'll work for kids, and let's face it, these are designed for kids. These aren't designed for us adults. I mean, it's just us adults that buy them, but yeah. Build quality-wise, plastic's okay, better than Swoop. Still quite thin in places, but a Swoop is the worst quality plastic. Even though I like the toy's great, it's going to break eventually. You're not going to be able to switch it backwards and forwards. This guy, I've switched him backwards and forwards a good few times, and I feel comfortable giving him to my kid to play with. He's that robust in each mode. So build quality-wise, apart from that QC error and a little bit of paint, he's not too bad. Do I recommend him? It's hard to be honest with you. Both of the Voyagers have their flaws. I mean, I've got Starscream as well. His robot mode is very stylised. I don't actually mind it too much, even though he's got a bit of Popeye on the arms. His jet mode is awful. Really awful. The combine mode, actually, I've actually got him here, is probably one of the best I've seen. I really like that look. It looks like movie Starscream in a way, which is pretty cool. But to me, I mean, if you're a Dinobot fan, pick him up. Because let's face it, we haven't had that many Grimlocks. We've had the Classics one, obviously, and a Generations one, and G1, and Masterpiece. But when a new Dinobot comes up, and especially a whole team, then you know what? we really want to pick them up. These are in $23.99 in Smiths. I paid $29.99 for mine from Toy Master, or Toy Planet, but actually I had a £10 voucher, so he only actually cost me 20 quid, which wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's one of those really. I think he's probably the better of the two Voyagers. I think the deluxes so far are probably better, even though I've only got Dreadwind and I've got Swoop. But his build quality, apart from that QC error, is pretty good. So this Power of the Primes line's a bit of a weird one. I really, really like these Prime Masters. I think these are a load of fun, even though they are expensive for what they are really cool. I think the deluxes are very Combiner Wars-esque, and I didn't mind Combiner Wars, so I don't mind them, but they are a bit of a flavour of a couple of years ago. I think the Legends are stunning, absolutely stunning, and some of the best that we've had so far. I think the Voyagers, as I say, more of a miss than a hit. And the leaders, I mean, I like the look of Optimus, I like the look of Rodimus, and I will be picking them up. I will be picking Rodimus up because I love Rodimus. I will be picking Optimus up because actually, you know what, he's Optimus Prime, and you've got to buy an Optimus Prime, haven't you? But this line it's very touch and go, it's very hit or miss, which is a shame really. We've all been spoilt by Titan's Return, and I know I've mentioned it before, I think that was the true pinnacle of Transformers mainline. I don't think it was our golden age as such. I don't think we'll be going through that again anytime soon, which is a shame really. But you know what, it is what it is. If you think about it, we're paying more for movie deluxes than these Voyagers, so take that into account as well. They are cheaper. $32.99 I think the movie Voyagers were. In Smith, $23.99 these, so about £9 difference, £9 cheaper. So yeah, it all depends on what you're collecting. It all depends on what you like. It's fun to flick backwards and forwards. It's full of design errors. But you know what? I think a lot of us will buy him just because he's Grimlock, and I don't regret buying him just because he's Grimlock. So anyway, I've been Zort Rider. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm almost at 250 subs, which is crazy really, considering a year ago I had barely 100. Actually, probably less than that ago. So thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed recently. Thank you for all your support. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. I'll try and do as many as I can. I am going to be away with work quite a lot, so it's probably just going to be one a week. But you know what? Thank you again for all the support. I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again soon.